Hello, welcome to the video solution for Edexcel Maths. This is C12 January 2019 part 3. So let's start. Question number 12. Karan is going to raise money for a charity. She aims to cycle a total distance of 1000 km over a number of days. On day 1, she cycles 25 km. She increases the distance that she cycles each day by 10%. Okay, the first day 25 km, then 10% of the distance cycled on the previous day until she reaches the total distance of 1000 km. She reaches the total distance of 1000 km on day n, where n is a positive integer. Find the value of n. Okay, in this types of question, the best option is you look at the situation day by day, then you realize that whether you have a arithmetic or a geometric series. So let's see. You can say that on day 1, let's say on day 1 she cycles 25 km, and then on day 2 she cycles 10% of the distance cycled on previous day. 10% of the distance cycled of the previous day. That means the 10% next day, or on day 2, she's going to cycle 25 plus 10% of this 25. That means 2.5. So overall, the second day the distance should be 27.5 kilometer. Similarly, on day 3, she is going to cycle 10% of extra as of that of previous day. So 27 is already there, plus 10% of, sorry, it's not a 27, it is 27.5. So 10% of this 27.5, that means plus 2.75. That means the total distance on third day will be equal to 30.25. So if you, and that's enough for understanding the first day, second and the third day. Now if you write these traveled distance in a row, so you have 25, 27.5, 30.25, and so on. Clearly you can see that it is a geometric progression or geometric series with r equal to 1.1. r equal to 1.1, and your first term a is 25, and then you need to figure out the number of day on which she traveled 1000 km. That means you need to find summation of n terms, sum of n terms. So sum of n term is 1000. So Sn is equal to a times of Rn minus 1 divided by r minus 1. This is sum of n terms, which is 1000 km. The total distance, a is 25, r is 1.1, and you need to figure out n, which is a capital N. So you need to figure out this n here. This is the n. So you can do that 1000 is equal to 25 1.1 to the power n, Rn minus 1 divided by 1.1 minus 1, r minus 1. And you just need to simplify this equation, and you need to solve this equation for n. So if you rearrange this for n, so at the end you have n is equal to 16.8 days, and you round it off because it is a positive integer, so n is equal to 17 days. That's how you can find value of n, the number of days in which she traveled 1000 kilometers. On day 1, 50 people donated money to the charity. Each day 20 more people donated to the charity than did so on the previous day. So the 70 people donated money on the day 2, 90 people donated money on the day 3, and so on. Find the number of people who donated the charity on day 15. Clearly, first day you had 50 people, and the next day you have 20 more, 70, and then 20 more, 90, and so on. Now if you see the pattern, this is arithmetic progression, because you have a common difference between each term, which is 20. This is your common difference, and then you need to find how many people are there on day 15. That means you need to find the 15th term, U15. Okay, so this is arithmetic progression. You have first term 50 and the common difference 20. You need to find U15. For arithmetic progression, you have U15 A plus n minus 1 D. So A plus 15 minus 1 into D. That's what you need to do. And U15 is the 15th term. That means number of people on 15 day. So A is 50 plus 14 times of D. D is 20. And U15 would be equal to 330 people are there on day 15. Each day, the donation given by each person was £5. Find the total amount of money donated by the end of day 15. Now, if you see the pattern, the first day there was 50 people, and then next day 70, and then 90. So if you multiply 5 with these number of people, so you can have amount on each day. So first day, the total amount collected or donated by the people was £250. This is the first day amount. And then second day is 7 times of 5, that means 350, and then 450, and so on. So again you have a common difference of 100, and first term is 250, and then you need to find the total amount. That means you need to find S15, but this is not geometric progression, this is arithmetic progression. And for arithmetic progression, S15 formula will be or in general Sn is equal to n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. This is the formula. So you need to find the total amount collected. So S15 would be equal to 15 by 2, 2 times of first term, which is 250, plus n minus 1, that means plus there, and minus 1 is 14 into d. D is 100. So you can simplify the right hand side. So S15 would be equal to 14,250 pound. This is the amount collected on the day 15. It is not 115, this is S15. Question number 13. F of x is equal to 3x cube plus 3x squared plus cx plus 12, where c is a constant. Given that x plus 3 is a factor of f of x, show that c is equal to minus 14. So if they are saying that x plus 3 is a factor of given function, that means if you put x is equal to minus 3, because x plus 3 is the factor, x plus 3 is a factor, that means x plus 3 equal to 0, so x is equal to minus 3. That means if you put x equal to minus 3 in the function, the value of the function should be 0. So if x is equal to minus 3, then f of minus 3 should be equal to 0 if x plus 3 is a factor. So that means you can put x equal to minus 3 in the given function, and you put f of minus 3 equal to 0. So you can say that 3 times of x cube, which is minus 3 cube, plus 3 times of x squared, minus 3 is squared, plus c times of minus 3, minus 3c, and plus 12 equal to f of minus 3, and f of minus 3, see, this is f of minus 3, and this is equal to 0. And then again you can see that in this equation you have only one unknown, which is c. You can simplify this equation for c. If you do your maths, simple arithmetic, addition and subtraction, then c would be equal to minus 14. Part B, write f of x in the form of f of x equal to x plus 3 and qx. So you know that because x plus 3 is a factor, so your remainder of your remainder is 0. That means if you use long division, like you can divide your function f of x, that means 3x cubed plus 3x squared plus cx. Now I'm writing here minus 14x because I have found value of c. So minus 14x plus 12 and divided by the factor, which is x plus 3. This is a long division method, and if you follow the long division method, and how do you do that? You need to think a number here that you can write, and then when you multiply that number with these two, you have the first term you should have 3x cube. So if you multiply this x with 3x squared, so you can have 3x cube, and then once you decide that that first term of the quotient, then you multiply 3x squared with all of the term with the divisor. So 3x squared times x is 3x cube, and then 3x squared times 3 is plus 9x squared, and this is a division, so you need to subtract, and the first term should be cancelled at all the time. 3x squared minus 9x is minus 6x squared, and then you write the rest of the term underneath, so minus 14x plus 12. And then you do the same thing, you need to think some term here so that you can multiply that term, okay, with the first one, and you can get minus 6x squared. So here you can write minus 6x, because if minus 6x is multiplied by x, you have minus 6x squared. So then you multiply minus 6x with both of the terms, so minus 6x squared, and then minus with this, so minus 18x, and then again you subtract these, so plus and then plus, the first term should be cancelled at all the time, and then you simplify these, so you have 4x, 18x minus 14, so 4x, and then plus 12x, and then you do one more time, you need to think some number here, so that when you multiply that number with the first term, so you can get 4x, so clearly it is plus 4, and you multiply plus 4 with both of these two terms of the divisor, so 4x and plus 12, and then you subtract, So when you subtract these, subtraction, minus, and then minus, so minus 4x plus 12, minus 12 get cancelled, so your answer is 0. That means the remainder is 0. Now clearly this is your quotient, so you can say that q of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. So you can write your expression or your function f of x as x plus 3 into qx, and qx is 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. That's how you can write. Part C. Use the answer to part B to prove that the equation f of x equal to 0 has only one real solution. In part B, we have shown that f of x is in fact x plus 3 into x squared 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. And they are saying that you need to show that f of x equal to 0 has only one solution or one real solution. So that means you can say that x plus 3, 3x squared minus 6x plus 4 equal to 0. Clearly you have two factors equals to 0. That means x plus 3 equals 0 and 3x squared minus 6x plus 4 equals 0. So from the first factor you can say x equal to minus 3. This is your first solution, first real solution, and you need to figure out rest of the solution from the second factor, 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. See if we can factorize and if we can find some information about this. So if we need to find whether the solution exists for this quadratic equation or not, we need to check the discriminant. That means b square minus 4ac, whether the b square minus 4ac is equal to 0 or it is more than 0 or it is less than 0. If it is equal to 0, then we have one repeated solution, and we have a real and distinct solution, and we have no solution. So we need to check the sign of b square minus 4ac. So b square minus 4ac is equal to, if you find bac from this quadratic equation, so you can say that you have minus 6 whole square, which is b square minus 4ac, 3 into c. C is your 4ac, and you just simplify the right hand side. So you have 36 and 4 times 12, 12 times minus 48. That means this is minus 12. And what does it mean? B square minus 4ac is negative. That means 3x squared minus 6x plus 4 has no real solution. So 3x squared minus 6x plus 4 equals 0 has no real solution. So that means the f of x has only one real solution, which is x equal to minus 3. Okay, question number same, but next part. Figure 2 shows a sketch of the curve with equation y equal to f of x, x belongs to real. On separate diagrams, sketch the curve with equation y equal to f of 3x and y equal to minus f of x. Now if you see, this is the curve for the same equation that we were dealing in the previous part. That means this f of x should be equal to 3x cubed plus 3x squared minus 14x and minus 12. It is plus 12. Yeah, it is plus 12. Minus 14x plus 12. Yes. So this is the equation of that curve given in previous in part A. So we need to sketch the graph for f of equal to y equal to f of 3x. Remember, f of equal to 3x. This shows that this is a stretching situation. That means f of 3x, every x coordinate, only x coordinate, remember, x coordinates are times by 1/3. So because this is 3, so we have to multiply all x coordinate with 1/3. So first we need to figure out how many x coordinate we can figure out clearly, because we know that the curve has only one solution, which is this one, and this one, the coordinate of that point should be minus 3, 0, and we have no other solution, but we can figure out the y coordinate from here. And from this equation, if you put x equal to 0, then y equal to 12. So coordinate of this point is 0, 12. So these are the 2 points that we can figure out in our given curve, and every x coordinate is multiplied by 1/3. That means if you multiply minus 3, 0, only x coordinate, remember, not y. So if you multiply the x coordinate minus 3 with the 1/3, so the new coordinate will be minus 1, 0, and this x coordinate is 0, so there's no change in the position of that point. Only this minus 3, 0 is going to contract and becomes minus 1, 0. That means it should be moving there, minus 1, 0. So you can think the graph of f of 3x something like this, and then you can mention that there's no change in the position of that point, so that point is 0, 12, but this new point will be minus 1 and 0. So this is f of 3x. This is the point coordinate. To y equal to minus f of x. This minus shows that it is the curve is going to flip around x-axis. So you can think that this is the line of x-axis. You just flip the whole curve, this whole curve from here to here, this whole region flipping down, and this curve will going to flip up. So you just flip it. If you do that, then you can think like something so you can think it's flipping like that. That means this is your minus 3, 0, 0, but this, due to flipping, the coordinate of that point will be 0, minus 12. I hope you got the idea. Question number 14. In this question, solution based on entirely on graphical or numerical methods are not acceptable. Solve for from minus 180 to 180, the equation sin x plus 60 equal to minus 0.4, giving your answer in degree to 1 decimal place. So the easiest way of solving these types of trigonometric equation is, first you need to just make angle as simple as you can. So you make this angle, you assume that capital X is a new angle which is equal to x plus 60, and the effect of changing angle in one new variable is that the range of the given angle is going to change. So our new range of the angle is not minus 180 to 180 because this range is for small x, but I have changed the angle for capital X. So clearly you can see that if you need to make this x as capital X, so you need 60 here. So you add 60 in all sides. So that means if you add 60 here, this will become capital X. And then if you add 60 on the left hand side, so your new interval would be minus 120, and the right hand interval, which is less than 180, plus 60, it becomes 240. So your new range of the angle would be from minus 120 to 240 for the new simple angle X. So you can write that sine of capital X is equal to minus 0.4, and then capital X you can figure out by taking inverse of the sine. So capital X will give you value of minus 23.6 degree. And how do you find rest of the solution? So for the meantime, you ignore this negative sign, just look at the number, which is 23.6, and then you need to visualize 23.6 in all of the four quadrant. And then how do you do that? You just draw the four quadrant like that, and then 23.6 is just a number. So 23.6 is, you can say that this is just roughly estimation. Okay, so 23.6, this angle is 23.6. You draw four angles, something like this, and this, and this. So 23.6, this is also 23.6, this one is also 23.6, this one is also 23.6. You have four angle, but out of these four angles, generally two angles are ignored because of the sign of the given trigonometric function. And as per given equation, sine of x is minus 0.4, or sine has negative value, sine is negative. So you need to think in which quadrant sine is negative. Clearly sine is negative in third and the fourth quadrant, so you ignore first and the second quadrant angles. So you have just two angles, 23.6 in the lower fourth quadrant and the third quadrant. And how do you find the solution? So because you have a given interval from negative angle to the positive angle, the easiest way to figure out number of solution is you divide these angle into two intervals. That means 0 to 240 degree, and then 0 to minus 120 degree. It will give you ease in looking at the angle. So from 0 to 240, this is positive angle. So your first solution is starting from positive x-axis till your first valid angle. So that means this is your first solution, and this angle clearly is 180 plus 23.6. So you can say that the first solution in the interval 0 to 240 is 203.6. and if you find next solution, and if you do for the next solution is for that one, that means this is 360 minus 23.6, which is 336.4. so this angle is 336.4 degree, which is outside the range of the 240. So we are not going to consider that last angle. So we have just one solution, 203.6 in the interval 0 to 240. Secondly, you need to see more solution if you have between the interval 0 to minus 120, and this is negative angle. So you start from negative angle, and you see from positive x-axis, this is your first solution, which is this one. So this is minus 23.6. So second solution is minus 23.6. And if you can figure out the other one, so this is your, and not, it could be your next solution, and this solution should be 180 minus 23.6, and it will give you minus 156. So this angle will be minus 156.4, which is again outside the range of minus 120 degrees. So we are not going to consider this angle as well. So now we have only two solutions. We can say that we have a two solution for x. X is equal to minus 23.6 and 203.6. But this is the solution. These are the solution for capital X. Our angle was small x, and small x can be found after subtracting this 60 from capital X. If you subtract 60 from these two, then you have x is equal to minus 83.6 and then 143.6. These are your final solution of the equation sine of x plus 60 equal to minus 0.4. Part 2. A. Show that the equation 2 sine theta tangent theta minus 3 equal to cos theta can be written in the form of 3 cos square theta plus 3 cos theta minus 2. Now you need to rewrite this equation in this form, and now if you compare these two, so we don't have tangent and the sine in our required form, so we need to just get rid of this tangent and the sine according to formula, whatever the formula that you can remember. So the easiest way is to, you can think that tangent theta can be written as sine theta upon cos theta. So you can rewrite 2 sine theta into tangent theta. Tangent theta is, this is theta, so again sine theta over cos theta minus 3 equal cos theta, and then sine and sine square, and this sine square becomes 1 minus cos square. So you can say that 2 times of 1 minus cos square theta divided by cos theta minus 3 equal to cos theta. And now it's just algebraic simplification. You need to simplify this, take the LCM cos theta and multiply 2 with that, and so 2 minus 2 cos square theta minus 3 cos theta, and this, after taking LCM, this cos theta is going to multiply with this cos, so cos square theta. And now if you rearrange this equation, so you can say that this cos square theta goes on the other side, so this is minus 3 cos square theta and then minus 3 cos theta and then plus 2 here equal to 0. This is the simplified form, but in our required form, the first and the second term should be positive and the 2 should be negative. And now you see we have opposite sign, so you multiplied the equation by minus 1. If you multiply the equation by minus 1, so you have 3 cos square theta. Multiplying by minus 1 means you flipped all the sign, so this is minus becomes positive, this minus becomes positive, 3 cos theta, and this plus 2 becomes minus 2 equal to 0. 0 is not going to affect it by any of the sign. So this is your required equation. Hence solve for 0 to 360 degree for theta, the equation 2 sine theta tangent theta minus 3 of cos theta. So this equation we need to solve, which is quite, for the meantime, is impossible for you guys, but again we can rewrite this equation as in terms of cos. So solving this equation means we need to solve our proved equation that we did. So we need to solve 3 cos square theta plus 3 cos theta minus 2 because both are equivalent. So instead of solving this, we are going to solve this equation. And clearly, if you can see that this is the quadratic equation in terms of cos theta. So you can use factorization method, or you can use some algebraic technique like assuming cos theta is equal to some other variable. That's I prefer, because if you are learning, if you are new to this, so let's see how can we solve it. So we have equation 3 cos square theta plus 3 cos theta minus 2. So looking at this quadratic nature, I am going to assume that let some new variable, it's your choice. So y is equal to cos of theta. That means this equation can be written as 3y square. It's fine, it's y. 3y square plus 3y minus 2 equal to 0. Clearly, this is a quadratic equation in terms of y, and if it can be factorized, it's good. If it is not, then we need to use a quadratic formula, and yes, we cannot factorize this equation because of 2 and 3 6 cannot be split into 3, no way. So we need to use a quadratic formula to find the value of y. So y is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac upon 2a. And if you substitute the value, so you have y is equal to minus b, so minus 3 plus minus b square, so 3 square minus 4ac, 4 times of 3 into c minus 2 root upon 2a, and a is 3, so it is 3. So you just simplify and you find two values of y because of this plus minus. So once you simplify the right hand side, then you have two values of y. Y is equal to minus 3 plus root 33 divided by 6, and y is equal to minus 3 minus root 33 divided by 6. Clearly, y is equal to 0.46 and y is equal to minus 1.45. So because we know that y is basically cos theta, so cos theta does not exceed 1, so that means this solution is not valid. So you need to find only y equal to 0.46 as cos theta. So you say that cos of theta is equal to 0.46, and from here you can do same technique that we did in a previous part, because theta is equal to 62.778, and 62.778 is 62.8 degree, because we need to give answer in one decimal place. See here? And then again you just chose the right quadrant, like you can do like this is x-axis, this is x and y-axis, of course, and 62.8 you can visualize 62.4 as a 4 different angle in all quadrants. So this is 62.8, this one is 62.8, 62.8 and 62.8. But as we have a cos theta positive value, so cos positive is only in first and the fourth quadrant, so we need to ignore second quadrant angle and the third quadrant angle. So our first solution would be equal to, from positive x-axis till the first line, which is 62.8. so theta is equal to 62.8. this is our first solution, and the second solution is starting from again positive x-axis till the second line. That means this one, which is equal to 360 minus 62.8, which is 297.2. And if we do more, then we exceed 360 degree. So that means we have just only two solutions for that equation. Okay, question number 15. The straight line L with the equation y equal to 5 minus 3x cuts the curve C with the equation y equal to 20x minus 12x square at the point P and Q as shown in figure 3. Use algebra to find the exact coordinate of the point P and Q. A typical question of finding point of intersection when two equations are given. One is the equation of line y equal to 5 minus 3x, and the second equation is y equal to 20x minus 12x square. So two equations are given, we need to find point of intersection, and we can find those points using a technique of simultaneous solution of simultaneous equation. So you solve these equations using elimination method or substitution method, whatever suits you, and then you can figure out the values of x and y. So you can do is like you can say 5 minus 3x is equal to y, and y is equal to 20x minus 12x square. And then you can rearrange this equation in the quadratic form, and you can say that you have a 12x squared minus 23x plus 5 equal to 0. This is the quadratic equation, and 5 times 12 is 60, and then 20 times 3, yes, of course. So 60 can be broken into a factor like 20 and 3. So 12 times 5 is 60, and then 60 can be broken into 20 and 3 to make it minus 23. So minus 20 and minus 3. So minus 20 and the minus 3 gives you minus 23. So you can rewrite the whole equation as 12x square minus 20x minus 3x plus 5 equal to 0. And then from the first two you can take common. 4x is common in the first two terms. So 4x is common, and inside you have a 3x minus 5, and from the other two, from these two, you can take minus 1 common, and 3x minus 5 equal to 0. And then you can have 3x minus 5, and then 4x minus 1 equal to 0. Clearly you have x is equal to 5 by 3 and x is equal to 1 by 4. So you have two different points. So if you see your diagram, at this point the x coordinate of P should be equal to 1 by 4, and the x coordinate of Q is 5 by 3. So this is 5 by 3, comma, you need to figure out the y coordinate, because we need to find points, not just x coordinate. That means we need y coordinates as well for P and Q. So for y coordinate you need to substitute the values of x that you found here one by one in any one of the equation. It's your choice. You can put in a linear equation or a quadratic equation. The best way is to put in a linear equation. So you put x equal to 5 by 3 in y equal to 5 minus 3x, and if you put here is 5 by 3, 3 gets cancelled. That means 5 minus 5 of y equal to 0. Clearly this is the point 5 by 3. And then you can put 1 by 4 in the same equation, and when you solve for 1 by 4, so your next quadrant will be 1 by 4, so 3, 15, okay, and then it is 17 by 4. So the y coordinate is 17 by 4. So your points of intersections are 5 by 3, 0, and 1 by 4, 17 by 4. Okay, the infinite region R shown shaded in figure 3 is bounded by the line L, the x-axis, and the curve C. Use calculus to find the exact area of R. Okay, so if you see this situation, we need to find this region R, And how do you do that? You can think the whole region as, like, if you divide like that, if you draw a perpendicular line. Now see here. So you can divide the whole region R into two different regions. One is bounded by the curve and this vertical line, and the other one is bounded by the given line and the x-axis. So we can figure out A1, which is this, and A2, which is this. So A1 is the area under the curve between the point 0 to 1 by 4. And A2 is the area of that triangle, which is quite easy to find. So first we find the area of the curve A1. A1 is the area under the curve. So let's see. Let's do it here. So A1, area under the curve, is, because this is curve, and area under the curve is from 0 to 1 by 4. And equation of the curve, which is 20x minus 12x squared dx. And you need to integrate this simple equation between 0 to 1 by 4, and you need to apply the limit. Then you have the area under the curve between 0 to 1 by 4. So if you integrate that, so you have 20x square upon 2 minus 12x cube by 3, and then from 0 to 1 by 4. So 2 and it's gone, 10 and 3 and 4. So you have a simplified forms of 10x squared minus 4x cube, and the limit is 0 to 1 by 4. And then you apply the limit. Once you apply the limit, upper limit minus lower limit. So your upper limit would be equal to 10 times of x squared, and x squared is 1 by 4 squared. Upper limit minus, again upper limit on 4x cube. So minus 4 x cube is 1 upon 4 whole cube. Upper limit minus lower limit. Lower limit is 0. So it's gone because x is 0, so it's gone. You don't need to write this expression. So now you need to simplify. So A1, finally, when you simplify this, so A1 would be equal to 9 by 16. This is your A1. That means the area under the curve between 0 to 1 by 4. Clearly for A2, you can figure out area of A2 is as area of triangle. So A2 would be equal to area of the triangle half of base. Half of base. Base means from here till here, which is 5 by 3 minus 1 by 4. So half of base 5 by 3 minus 1 by 4 into height. Height is that one, and this one is a y coordinate, 17 by 4. So 17 by 4. And then simplify this. So you have A2 as 289 by 96. And then total area A would be equal to sum of these two. So A is equal to A1 plus A2. So A is equal to 343 divided by 96. This is your final answer for the area of the region R. Question number 16. Figure 4 shows the design for a container in the shape of a hollow triangular prism. The container is open at the top, which is labeled A, B, C, D. Okay, the top side is open, and the side of the container A, B, F, E, and D, C, F, E are rectangle. The end of the container A, D, E, and B, C, F are congruent right triangles. Okay, as shown in the figure 4, the ends of the containers are vertical, and the edge EF is horizontal. Okay. The edge AE, DE, and EF have a lengths 4x meter and 3x meter and L meter respectively. Given that the container has a capacity of 0.75 meter and is made of material of negligible thickness, show that the internal surface area of the container S meter square is given by. So we need to derive equation for the surface area. Now if you see this, the given diagram is a prism where A, B, C, D, the top is open. So we have only 4 surfaces, out of which 2 are rectangles. A, E, D, these are triangle AED, and B, F, C, and 2 rectangles, which is DEFC and AEFB. So the total surface area is the surface area of the 2 triangles and the 2 rectangles. So the surface area S will be the areas of the triangle. So area of the triangle is, because we have a 2 triangles and both triangles are congruent, so area of the triangles, both triangles is twice of half of base into height. Base is 4x, height is 3x. This is area of the triangle, and I times 2 because I'm considering 2 triangle, plus area of the rectangle. Now if you see area of that rectangle here, so area of that rectangle would be equal to L times of 3x base into height plus area of the other rectangle, which is this. And the area of that rectangle would be L times of that width, which is 4x. So L times of 4x. So S is equal to 2 gone, 4 times 3. So 12x square plus 3xl and 4xl plus 7xl. This is the surface area that we found using given information. But in our required form, or in our required equation, we don't have L. We have just only x in terms of x. So we need to get rid of this L. And how do we do that? If you read the question, we are given additional information about the capacity. Capacity means this is the volume. So we can use this information to get rid of L. So we know that this is a prism, and volume of the prism is area of the base times height. This is the general formula for any prism. So area of the base, in this case base is a triangle and height is the length, so L. So we can say that, I'm just saying this is equation number 1. Now since the volume is area of the base, half of 4x into 3x, this is the area of the base, and times height, and height is L. And since capacity is given 0.75, and if you see the required equation does not involve any decimal, so 0.75, I can write the capacity or the volume as 3 by 4. So 3 by 4, which is 0.75, is equal to this is 2, and okay, so half of base into height, and then so this is 2 times 3, sorry, 6xl, and then length is equal to 3 by 24 x, and 3 ones are 3, 8. So length is 1 upon, is some mistake that I did, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. If you see s equal to 12, v equal to half of, I forgot x here because this is 3x. So this is 6x squared, and add x squared. So L is equal to 1 upon 8 x squared. This is the value of L. You can replace L in your given equation 1. So S is equal to 12 x squared plus 7 x into L, and L is 1 upon 8 x squared. So x, 1x get cancelled. So S is equal to 12 x squared plus 7 by 8x. That's your required surface area equation. Part B, use calculus to find the value of x for which s is a minimum given your answer to 3 significant figures. So use calculus to find the minimum value of x. So you have s is equal to 12x squared plus 7 by 8x, and you need to find the minimum condition. So you need to differentiate this with respect to x. So you need to find ds by dx, and then once you differentiate, you have a 24x minus 7 by 8x minus 2. And then, because for minimum condition, you have ds by dx is equal to 0, and that means for 24x, this implies that 24x minus 7 by 8x squared equal to 0, and then this is cubic equation of 192 x cube equal to 7. If you simplify this, you have 292 x cube equal to 7, and x is equal to 0.332 because of 3 significant figures. This is the value of x that you found. Part C, justify that the value of x found in part B gives a minimum value for x. So if you need to figure out whether it is giving a minimum value, so that you need to check the sign of second derivative. That means you need second derivative from that equation. So you differentiate this again. So you say that d2s by dx squared is equal to, you differentiate this again, and you say that 24 plus 7 by x, 4 minus 2 comes down, 4. So 4x cubed. This is second derivative, and if x is equal to 0.332, you put x here and check the sign. So you have it doesn't matter what, you don't need to calculate because x is positive. Since x is positive, so d2s by dx squared will always be positive. That means that is x is minimum. X is the value that where x is for minimum, not as, x is for minimum value of x. So this is how you show that. Part D, using the value of x found in part B, find 2 decimal places the length of the edge AD. Length of the edge AD, this is the AD, you need to find that one. So it's quite straightforward. It is a Pythagoras theorem. So you can say that the AD would be equal to 9x squared plus 16x squared root, and you put x equal to 0.33, so you have 1.66, 2 decimal place in meter. This is your AD. You need to put x equal to 0.332. And finally, the length of the edge CD. So if you see that CD, the length of CD, okay, CD is as same as length L, and we have shown in a previous part, part A, that the length CD is equal to the length L, and L is 1 upon 8x squared, and you put x equal to 0.332, so your CD would be equal to 1.13 meter. Thank you very much for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice time.